Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you my autumnal fall TBR. So I have done seasonal TBRs for all of this year. So we're coming to the last one for 2022, which is the autumn one. And these are gonna be the books I will try to read before the year is over. So I hope that you're excited to see what's on my TBR for these couple of months. So let's start out with the highest priority, which is the final book of the 5 authors I wanted to try this year, and that is Beloved by Toni Morrison. This is the 5th one. I am so excited to read this, and I think this will be quite hard-hitting, but also a little bit spooky maybe. So I'm very excited to give this book and Toni Morrison a try. And then for the last series I wanted to read completely this year, I want to try to read the Diviners series in autumn. I already tried to buy the books, but unfortunately there seems to be no matching set of the 4 books. So we're talking the Diviners, The Lair of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You, and King of Crows. There has been kind of like a cover change with every single book, I feel like, and there is no matching set. You get matching covers, but the books are different height. So I'm not doing that. I will probably get the ebooks because I hate when my books don't match. So that's the plan for that. Okay, now for the rest of the books, I tried to have them in a little bit of an order, and the first 2 books I would consider classics, so I'm scared of both of them. First we have the 120 Days of Sodom by Marquis de Sade. I've already read one of the Marquis de Sade books that I had on my TBR, so this is the last one of his that I own and haven't read yet. This one is quite lengthy, like this is 500 pages, so we'll see how that goes. It's very intimidating, but if you don't know, Marquis de Sade is an classical writer of erotica, so you can guess that from the picture, I guess. So we'll see about that. And then the other classic is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is by Victor Hugo, and I've read Les Miserables last year, and I've had this book for quite a while. It's a very stunning edition that I found in a little free library, but I expect that this one is not the whole book, that this is a shortened version, an abridged version, because it is hardly 370 pages, and I think the original is quite long, but still I think I will just read this edition. I've known the story for a very long time. The Disney movie of The Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of my favorites, if not my favorite movie, so we'll see about that. I know that this version, like the original tale, is much darker, and I know the main plot points, so we'll see. I'm intrigued. Then we have 2 kind of random books. The first one is one that I just want to get back to my mom because she lent it to me years and years ago. The original title of this seems to be Matters of Choice by Noah Gordon. This is the German translation. This is the 3rd book following the Physician series that he wrote. I think this is set in like the 80s or 90s or something like that, so quite recent, as you can guess from the pictures. With these books, I think the covers are horrendous, but I did really enjoy the first 2, and so I definitely want to see what this one is all about. This is around 400 pages, so definitely also the shortest one of the bunch. And I think Noah Gordon can write. He has a very easy to read writing style, so we'll see. And then another, you could consider this a classic actually, is by Agatha Christie. The English title is Peril at End House, and so yeah, this is also more of a short book, and I got this as a gift from my grandma once, so I definitely want to read that. Then we have two continuations of series. The first one is actually the finale, and I'm very excited to read this. And this is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. This is the finale to These Violent Delights, and I think I will reread the first book and then read this one if I have time. That's also what's kind of holding me back, because both of these are chunky. But I did enjoy the first one. I gave it around 3.5 stars when I read it, and I am intrigued to see how the story continues. There's also a new book coming out, which I think follows side characters from this series, and I've tried to stay away from that so I don't get spoiled for this series. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to see how it ends. And I guess this is more in the cozy mystery lane. This is a series about a cat solving crime. The English title was Murder on the Prowl, and this is by Rita Mae Brown and her cat Sneaky Pie Brown. I don't know which book this is in the series, probably the 6th or so. So yeah, I accidentally read them out of order a little bit, but this is where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what murder cases this cat has to solve next. Then we have a bit of a project for the kind of like Christmas time. I don't know whether I will actually do this, but I have a complete collection of the Grimm's fairy tales. So these two books are all of their tales, and then this last book is like commentary and explanations, because some of these are even written in older dialects that are not that easy to read anymore. I would love to one day read them all, or having read them all, but I think this is more of a thing of like reading one here or there. I absolutely love these editions. They are so stunning. So yeah, I definitely want to at least try to read these in the fall. Speaking of little projects, I've had this book for years on my nightstand, but I never really get into it. That is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, and this has like really short little biographies of important women and beautiful illustrations to go along with that. And I've always wanted to read this, but as I said, I've had it on my nightstand for so long, and I can't seem to keep reading it. Like, I always start and I get a couple of biographies into it, and then I forget about it again. So we'll see whether I can change that this fall, because I would really love to go through this. I think there is a lot of women in here that I don't know yet, and that can be very inspiring. And then, since a nonfiction November is coming up, I also wanted to put a nonfiction here, and that one is Nonviolent Communication. This is by Marshall B. Rosenberg, and I think this can be very, very important. I definitely want to learn more about communication, especially since my job is teaching people stuff. So I think the correct communication style is very, very important, because the better you understand each other, the better others can learn from you as well. So I'm really intrigued to read this. I think this is also a great book for like personal relationships. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to give this a try, but so far this year I didn't have like enough space in my brain to even attempt to read this. And then we have two more books that for me fit the October vibe really, really well. And October is one of my favorite times of the year. I love the spooky season. I love pumpkin everything. So I'm very excited. And the first one is Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. This I'm so excited about. This is a kind of dark academia, kind of horror ghost story thing, book, whatever. And yeah, I'm just really excited to read this finally. It's also a big book, so I think between this and the Diviner series, there actually won't be much happening this October. We'll see. I probably get to some exciting spooky audiobooks, but yeah, I'm so excited to read this book, and I think this edition is stunning. And then finally we have Monstrous Volume 6. I'm also very excited to read this one, and yeah, Monstrous is just the only comic series or like graphic novel series that I'm actively following. This is the latest issue. I think 7 comes out soon as well, so maybe I will squeeze that in too. Usually I try to reread them whenever I get to an even number, so since this is 6, I would technically read the whole series again. We'll see whether I have time for that, but yeah, the art style is just so stunning. Okay, surprisingly it does fit, at least without the diviners on the pile. This is my autumn TBR, so I'm very excited. We'll see how much of this I will get read. Soon I will also upload my summer TBR wrap-up, so if you want to know what I've read off of my summer TBR, stay tuned for that. I can already tell you it's not that much. So yeah, I hope you had a great time watching. Leave a like if you did, and yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to read this autumn, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!